One outcome that would expose all of them. Now imagine this for a moment. Chosen One. A room full of people who don't even like each other, suddenly working together behind your back. Enemies linking arms like best friends. Family turning colder than strangers. Old lovers, fake friends, jealous co-workers, all quietly united by one unspoken fear. Your supernatural power. That's the level of threat you represent. You, standing alone, scared them more than anything they could control. That's why they teamed up. Not because you were weak, but because even in your silence, they could feel the storm rising inside you. You didn't just trigger their jealousy, you triggered their survival instincts. And here's a cold, brutal fact. In group mobbing situations, targeted individuals often don't survive mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. The isolation works. The lies work. The betrayal is usually fatal, but you, Chosen One, shattered the entire script. Statistically, you weren't supposed to make it this far. Energetically, they couldn't touch your soul. Spiritually, you were built for war, and they forgot you're not just any soul. You're a one of one. And thank you, Chosen One. Don't forget to pay this message back by simply pressing the like and subscribe to help spread this message to more souls, as it's the responsibility of all of us to spread the light. And thanks, Chosen One, for being part of this mission. You are the part of a force, a rare, unbreakable force that's rising faster than they ever anticipated. So now, let's talk about what's really happening. You shocked them. Your survival wasn't just unexpected, it was terrifying. You didn't fold, you didn't beg, you didn't self-destruct. Instead, you turned inward. You evolved. You started healing wounds they thought they could keep open forever. And when their sabotage didn't kill you, it exposed them. Every move they made behind your back, every lie they whispered, every spell they cast, every mask they wore. Now it's unraveling. They're not just mad that you survived. They're afraid of what your survival means, because your existence now confirms they failed. That's the part they can't swallow. These weren't random attacks. This was a coordinated takedown. People who had no business even knowing each other somehow found each other through gossip, group chats, and bitter prayers, all centered around you. Your name stayed in their mouths like a curse. You were the obsession, and they tried everything: spiritual warfare, psychic slander, energetic theft, character assassination, even legal manipulation. Some even went into dark places, throwing death rituals under the full moon just to block your path. But the thing is, Chosen One, they were fighting against a blueprint they didn't create. Your destiny isn't given, it's coded, it's in your DNA. That can't be hacked, that can't be replaced. You want to know why they're still watching you? Why they can't move on? Because they're stuck in the timeline where you didn't break. And that timeline haunts them. Every win you get now is a scar on their conscience. Every breakthrough is proof that the universe favored you over their schemes. And what's worse, some of them actually wanted to be you. They studied your light so long they tried to clone it. But they forgot something critical. Your light isn't aesthetic, it's earned. It's forged in fire. It's carved through loss. You broke in front of them, yes, but then you did something supernatural. You rebuilt in silence. They thought the shame, the gossip, the betrayal, the isolation, the spiritual attacks would crush you, but all it did was strip away the illusions. What's left now is the real you, untouchable, intuitive, dangerous. Not because you hurt people, but because you see through them. That's what terrifies them now. You're not naive anymore. You've tasted the blade of betrayal from every angle. You've watched the ones who claim to love you set you up to fail. And you still rose.
Yeah.
This is why they're scrambling. Some are acting sweet, sending energy your way, trying to look harmless. Others are playing the victim, hoping to rewrite the past. And some are still trying to cause chaos from the shadows, thinking if they throw one last punch, maybe you'll finally fall. But here's the truth. Chosen One. They lost the war the moment you refused to retaliate. That silence, that boundary, that elevation. It was a spiritual verdict. The moment you stopped engaging, the universe stepped in. Now their karma is coming in waves, and your glow-up isn't just physical, it's prophetic, it's poetic. They called you delusional, but now everything you said is coming to pass. They said you were crazy, but now they're the ones seeing shadows in the mirror. They tried to block your path, but now you're so far ahead, they can't even see the dust you left behind. So remember this, you surviving wasn't just about healing, it was about revealing. And what you revealed is terrifying to them, that you're not only alive, you're activated. And that supernatural power they feared? You haven't even unleashed your full potential yet, and that's the part that will haunt them forever. And listen closely, Chosen One. Don't go anywhere, because what you just heard, that was only the surface. That was the quiet whisper before the thunder. The real truth, the gritty, shocking, step-by-step revelation of how they all teamed up against you, how they tried to spiritually assassinate you, and how your supernatural power terrified them into desperation. That's what's coming next. So if you've ever questioned why they did all that, or how you survived what should have destroyed you, then stay close. And if you feel this message piercing through the noise like it was meant for you, then it was. Drop the number 777 in the comments. If you know deep down the universe kept you alive for a reason they still can't comprehend. And if you feel called to, bless the energy behind this message with a super thanks. It fuels the light we spread and protects this movement from the shadows trying to silence it. You're not watching this by chance. This is part of your recall. And now, let's dive into this, step by step. If you're truly a chosen one, you'll feel it in your bones. You won't be able to walk away, because what's coming next will confirm everything. Let's get started. Number 1, they failed to break you. Now they want to sit next to you. They couldn't break you, so now they want to stand next to your light, hoping no one remembers they tried to bury it. Let that one sink in for a second. These people didn't just betray you, they tried to delete you, erase your energy, drain your soul, humiliate you in silence. And now they want back in. Now they act like they've always supported you, like they were never part of the circle of snakes that tried to choke your growth. But what they don't realize is this: the Chosen One doesn't just survive betrayal, we evolve because of it. You see, the enemy only respects what they can't destroy, and when they found out you were unbreakable, they panicked, because nothing scares a manipulator more than someone who refuses to bend. Nothing frustrates a narcissist more than the silence of someone they couldn't control. That's why they're crawling back now. Not out of love, not out of change, but because you didn't die in the storyline they scripted. You're off script now. And they don't know how to deal with that. Now imagine this: Chosen One, a maniacal director writing your failure into every scene, plotting your downfall like a climax in their little ego-driven drama. They gathered co-stars, they built the plot twist, they used props like lies, gossip, spell work, fake concern, even staged betrayals. Some people don't lose because they're weak. They lose because they touched the wrong bloodline. The moment they decided to move against you, they didn't just make an enemy. They signed a contract with consequences they don't understand yet. And here's the part that should sit heavy in their chest. You never had to fight back for the universe to respond. The second they aimed at you, something ancient stood up behind you and said, "Enough." That's what they keep miscalculating. They think they're targeting a person, They don't realize they're provoking a lineage. They don't realize they're tapping on a door that hasn't been opened in generations, and when it opens, it doesn't ask questions. Let me say this plainly, Chosen One, because your enemies need to hear it through you. You are not protected because you're harmless. You're protected because you're important. You're not covered because you're lucky. You're covered because you carry weight. There's a male ancestor in your bloodline who does not play about you, and the more people test you, the louder his presence becomes. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to threaten anyone. The pressure speaks for itself. You've probably asked yourself, why does everything backfire on people who try me? Why do their plans fall apart without me lifting a finger? Why do they get nervous around me before they even know my story? Here's the answer they don't want you to realize. You are not standing alone in time. You are standing on top of it. Every move you make carries history. Every breath you take carries memory. And every hostile intention thrown your way runs into something older, sharper, and far less forgiving than modern games. Think of it like this. An enemy walks toward you thinking they're stepping onto open ground. What they don't see is the landmines buried by generations who survived betrayal, war, hunger, and loss. They take one step with arrogance and suddenly nothing works. Their confidence slips, their words tangle, their timing collapses. They don't know why their life feels off after targeting you. They don't know why their energy drains the moment they think about you. They don't know why
I remember Mark called me a black C-word. 6 months later, he died. God doesn't play.
Their focus fractures. But you do. They walked into protected territory. And no, this isn't fantasy. This isn't ego. This isn't you thinking you're special. This is how chosen ones move through the world. When you're selected by a lineage, reality rearranges itself around your safety. You feel danger before it arrives. You leave places seconds before chaos breaks loose. You pull back from people right before they reveal their true nature. And the people who try to cross you end up exposed, embarrassed, or blocked by forces they can't name. That's not coincidence. That's defense. Your enemies hate this part the most. You don't need revenge. Your bloodline handles that. While they're plotting, something interferes. While they're lying, something slips. While they're trying to embarrass you, they embarrass themselves. It's like throwing a punch in a dream and waking up with a broken hand. They feel the impact, but they can't explain the source. And let's talk about the questions that sit quietly in your mind. Why me? Why does my life feel heavier than others? Why does my presence trigger reactions? Why do I carry so much awareness? Because the strongest descendant is never given a light path. The strongest descendant is given a meaningful one. You were built to carry what others couldn't. You were shaped to end cycles, not repeat them. You were wired to notice what others miss. That kind of role requires protection that doesn't hesitate. Your male ancestor isn't gentle about threats. He doesn't negotiate with bad intentions. He doesn't wait until harm reaches you. The moment someone decides to cross a line with you, consequences start moving in the background. That's why people feel uneasy after disrespecting you. That's why they suddenly go quiet. That's why they distance themselves. They felt something push back. And it wasn't you. Here's the truth that should fuel you, not scare you. Being chosen doesn't mean life is easy. It means life responds. When you're targeted, reality reacts. When you're threatened, timing shifts. When you're underestimated, outcomes change. You are not fragile. You are guarded. You are not small. You are significant. And the more you step into who you are, the less room enemies have to breathe around you. So if you've ever felt watched over, redirected, pulled away at the last second, or spared in ways you couldn't explain, now you know why. Your protection runs deeper than this lifetime. Your strength runs older than your name. And the people who try you keep learning the same lesson too late. Some descendants don't fight alone, and some bloodlines answer disrespect with consequences. This isn't about fear, this is about clarity. You don't shrink, you don't apologize. You don't dim yourself to make others comfortable. You walk knowing that what stands behind you doesn't miss. And that knowledge isn't a burden, it's fuel. Chosen One, before we move forward, I want you to pause and reflect on this. If you've ever felt protected in ways you couldn't explain, if you've seen people back off without you saying a word, if you've watched situations collapse that were meant to harm you, this message is for you. You're not imagining it. You're not alone in this experience. Your story matters, and your voice matters too. Share in the comments what this protection has looked like in your life, the moments that made you stop and wonder. When you speak it, you claim it. And when chosen ones speak together, confidence replaces doubt, and clarity replaces confusion. Number one, you didn't become dangerous by chance, you were built like a loaded spring. Quiet until pressure makes you unstoppable. They didn't lose because you attacked them. They lost because you were engineered to survive what they tried. They didn't recognize the danger at first. That's always how it goes. They mistook your calm for softness, your restraint for weakness, your silence for permission. They thought you were just another person moving through life without backup, without structure, without depth. And that misread is the most expensive mistake they keep making. Because you didn't become formidable by accident. You were built that way long before they showed up with bad intentions. Chosen One, hear this clearly. You are not reactive, you are preloaded. You don't snap because you don't need to. You don't bark because your presence already warns. You don't chase because pressure moves toward you on its own. And when someone finally decides to test you, they don't realize they're not triggering your anger. They're activating a system. Something clicks. Something wakes up. Something old, disciplined and precise steps forward. Your enemies only start panicking after they notice the pattern. They push, and instead of breaking, you stabilize. They provoke, and instead of reacting, you watch. They try to corner you, and somehow they end up exposed. They try to humiliate you, and the spotlight swings back onto them. That's when confusion sets in. That's when they ask themselves, why doesn't this work on them? And the answer is simple. You're not operating on impulse. You're operating on inheritance. You were built by people who couldn't afford emotional reactions. You were shaped by individuals who learned that survival favors composure, timing, and precision. That's why your silence feels heavy to others. It's not empty. It's loaded. It's the kind of quiet that comes before a decisive move. The kind of quiet that unnerves manipulators and unsettles people who rely on chaos. They can't read you because you weren't designed to be readable. And let's answer the questions that probably live in the back of your mind. Why do people underestimate me? Why do they think they can play with me? Why do they only realize too late? Because the most dangerous structures don't advertise their strength. Steel doesn't announce itself. Pressure does. And pressure is where you perform best. When life tightens, you don't fold. You align. When things get heavy, you don't scatter. You focus. Think of it like this. Some people are glass.